All right, we're talking with Amy of Voxy. Amy, what does Voxy do?
Voxy is a mobile and web app that helps people learn English. So we help English language learners achieve their goals through customized language lessons. We are different than other products because other products tend to be one size fits all. So all of the learners of a certain level will be getting the same content and the same lessons, and it may not be relevant to them. Whereas Voxy will ask you upfront what your interests are, what your language learning goals are, and we'll give you a proficiency assessment, and we'll take all of those three variables and create customized language lessons for you that are going to be relevant, so you'll stay engaged, and also using real-world authentic content. So it's refreshed all the time. You're not going to get the same content over and over again. We have licensing agreements with digital publishers, Associated Press, Bloomberg, Financial Times, blogs, videos, real conversations. All this is real world, so that you feel that you're actually learning something that's going to be relevant and useful to you. And when you actually are faced with a situation or a circumstance where you need to use the language, it won't be completely different than what you were exposed to along the way using our lessons.
So you're global, right? Anyone in the world who wants to learn English can come to you?
That's correct.
So are there any particular parts of the world that are more avidly seeking to come up to speed on English than others?
Well, we originally started with native Spanish and marketing to native Spanish and Portuguese speakers. Now we're pretty much accessible all over the world. I mean, we were always accessible all over the world, but we originally had, when you started onboarding, those two languages. So Brazil, Latin America, and in particular Brazil is my answer to you. There are many English language learners in Brazil, people trying to learn English, and so we have actually opened an office there, and we have a couple of people working on our team down there. So we are actually marketing to institutions as well as direct to consumer. So there are a lot of language schools in Brazil as well, and they also find our offering very interesting, possibly as a supplement, possibly as something that they'll just offer directly. So.
How are you getting the word out about Voxy? I mean, how are you promoting this? Are you letting people sort of come to you on their own? Or are you pushing messages out through social? How is that working?
A little bit of all of that. So organic, we also have a marketing team. They work very hard and help get the word out. So, do SEO and SEM, I guess. I'm not the marketing person, but a little bit of everything, basically.
So where are you based? Are you internationally based in New York here?
We're based in New York. And as I said, we have a couple of people working down in Brazil. And then that's pretty much it. We've got a few people in the States, remote workers, but for the most part, we're all based in New York.
Now, New York has not traditionally been known as a high technology town. I know they've tried to change that, but we still are sort of playing second fiddle to Silicon Valley and California. I'm asking this of everybody I'm talking to. What does New York have that San Francisco and Silicon Valley don't?
Well, I think it's the people. And, I was a career changer. I was not always in tech, and I gravitated to it because of the innovation that was happening here in New York, and actually just at the time that all the startups were starting to expand here in New York. And what I found most reassuring and what was standing out for me was the people. Like, everybody was willing to help. You could ask someone for a cup of coffee. Nobody's too important or too cool. People were always willing to help each other, and particularly in my case, that I was a career changer, having people be open and willing to share their experiences and to talk after a networking event or to provide their email or to make introductions. People are constantly facilitating introductions to other people. I'm not sure that happens there, but I never felt that I was bothering somebody. So I really would say the local New Yorkers.
That's fabulous.